Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people reveal the worst way they've been dumped. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. My ex-stepfather texted my mum a text meant for a secret side piece, using this other girl's name and very key identifiers. Like this was a paragraph he wrote to her detailing how beautiful she and her sisters looked on Facebook. My mum has no sisters or Facebook. He said he loved her and couldn't wait to see her again. He sent it to my mum instead. I was helping my mum with her phone, so I was the first person who saw the text. Oh. It was one of the worst days of my life, seeing my wonderful, beautiful mum get hurt by this cheating, lying cretin. But this isn't even the worst or most sickening part. I look up the name and do some detective work to find out who she is, and the girl is the exact same age as me. The daughter of the woman he married. I was about 23 or 24 at the time. He was in his 40s. My mum was in her 50s. Wow. He left his wife for this young girl. Okay. He and my mum divorced while he and the new girl got married. A year or so later, we heard through the grapevine that he got divorced again. Not surprising. My mum's thriving now, proudly single and hoping to stay that way. Normally, I would want her to not be alone, but she has her dogs and is doing so well now. I'm very proud of her. Oh, Papa! The papas will protect her, don't worry. Oh gosh. If I was in that situation, I feel like I would be more mad if the girl was younger. Like, a lot younger, you know? It's just weird. I guess it's because you kind of know that he's cheating on your mum with someone that's younger and like prettier and still looks good kind of thing. That's why I'll be more mad. Actually, I don't even know. My boyfriend let me take care of him, do things for him, spend money on him, pull the load in the relationship for 6 months. A couple weeks ago, I took him to work in the morning. He kissed and hugged me goodbye and never spoke to me again. What? How do people do this? Like, they're just affectionate and then, like, do they plan it out? They're like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna kiss and hug her and then just ghost her. Like, how does that work? Over the weekend, I was out with friends and I got a call from his number. When I answered it, his best friend told me he was messed up at a party and needed a ride. I was wasted, so I couldn't get him, but I set my location and told him to put my boyfriend in an Uber. That didn't happen. The next morning, nobody could find him and his phone was dead. He had commitments with his child that day. My ex is 30, so old enough to know better. So I volunteered to go to where the house party was and see if he was there. When I pulled up, he was sitting outside and saw me. Without saying a word, he ran inside and refused to come out. He even sent someone out to yell at me. What? When I texted him and told him how hurtful that was, he responded by saying, "Don't text me anymore," and blocked me on all social media. I still never got an explanation, so I would say that's a horrible way to dump someone. They don't even know why. Like, they were even worried about them and came to where they were, but then the ex just ran back in and said, "Don't talk to me ever again." That is so rude. I'm confused though. I saw a woman absolutely lose it at a restaurant after her boyfriend commented that she should really consider coming to his work for a swim after hours because she was looking kind of chubby. I'm assuming this is not the first time he said this, and clearly she was not chubby. She screamed and started throwing spaghetti at him. She just learned she was sick and was actually underweight. She dumped him and as she stormed away, told him to get with a skeleton if it wasn't too fat for him. That dude is just a jerk. Like, if she's underweight, she must have already looked really slim and he thinks that's chubby? How rude and insensitive. The poor fool was still sitting on the curb in the rain when I was leaving, and against my better judgment, I gave him a lift to his apartment a few blocks away. I try not to pry, but he spent the whole time talking about his side of the story, and he was an idiot. What side of the story are you gonna tell? So he's just gonna give excuses to why he thought she should lose weight when she's already underweight? My first boyfriend ever posted a Facebook status that said, "Can't wait for this drama." He then proceeded to change his relationship status from me to another girl, and his profile picture from us to one of him and that same girl. This all happened while he knew I was in one of my lectures. I got out, checked Facebook, saw it all, and that was that. He always had a flair for the dramatics and I was over it. I never spoke to him again. I got an A in that lecture too, so forget you. What? The guy was like, can't wait for this drama. I hope she's gonna be mad. I hope she's gonna be jealous or something. What? I can't wait for the girl to get mad. I thought everything was going well with my ex-boyfriend. We'd been friends for years and finally got together. After 6 months of being together officially, I invited him over for dinner. Cooking is not my thing, so I went to a lot of effort to make it a special evening. When the doorbell rang, I opened the door to find him dressed in a very nice suit. I assumed he was going the extra mile and had dressed up for the occasion and suddenly felt very underdressed. Before I could say anything, he said, "I'm not coming in. I'm just stopping by to let you know that it's not working out, and I'm actually running late to go out for dinner with some friends." Why didn't he text her that before she was gonna make everything? I, of course, assumed he was joking because it was so absurd and out of the blue. Turns out he wasn't joking. When I asked for some sort of explanation, he informed me that he was running late. I eventually managed to convince him to come back after the meal so he could explain what was going on. When he came back, a couple of my friends had come over to comfort me as I was in shock. So he stomped off saying, "Well, you obviously don't need me after all." I'm so confused. Obviously, you just dump her out of the blue. You think she's gonna be happy and partying? He would rather her be alone, sad and crying than have her friends come over to comfort her? Well, that is just selfish. The explanation that I eventually got from him was that his feelings for me were distracting him from work. He was a newly qualified airline pilot. He said his insane jealousy meant that whenever he came into land at the local airport, all he could think about was that I was somewhere out there cheating on him. So he just didn't trust her. For the record, I have never cheated on anyone in my life and was completely besotted with him. He had no reason to feel this way. Maybe his past relationships. Maybe someone cheated on him in his past relationships, but that's not a good excuse. A month later, he begged to get back with me because he couldn't stop thinking about me. I foolishly took him back. The second time he broke up with me, I sent him a message via WhatsApp. He was flying at the time to let him know that I was having an awful day. I had lost my job as my company was closing down, found out the house I was renting was being sold, and I had 2 weeks to find somewhere new to live, which would be near impossible without a job. I had been hit by a car as I cycled to the airport to meet him after he finished work, and was now on my way to hospital with a broken arm. This girl can't take a break, man. What's going on? Whoa. I feel like I'm reading a synopsis to a movie. When he landed, he replied to my WhatsApp message with, "Well, as you're already having a bad day, I guess I should probably let you know that this just isn't going to work out. I want to call it a day." So you're just gonna make it an even worse day. Who's really adding fire to all of this? I can't, oh my gosh. This is just too immature, honestly. What's going on? So he begged to get back together with her, and then he was like, "Actually, you know what? I actually want to break up again." He didn't answer my calls or messages for several days. Again, when I eventually managed to get a response out of him and we met up to discuss it, he informed me that his family thought I was too common for him. He is from a wealthy family. I am not. I was absolutely heartbroken for a few years after that, and he completely destroyed my self-confidence. Suffice to say, I have grown up since then and realized what a complete and utter loser he is, and that I deserve better than that. Of course you do, girl. Of course you do. Oh. But honestly though, on that day where he showed up with a suit and told her that he wasn't coming in, was already a red flag. I started a very passionate relationship with someone I had been friends with for 32 years. We were communicative and intentional. We spoke of future desires of travel and even this being a lifelong relationship. It was very mutual. Her life got a bit complicated between work and some heavy personal issues. Nothing huge, but tough for her to manage. This caused our dynamic to change a bit. She needed to focus on these things and do a little self-care in the process. We continued to communicate openly, and we both expressed our desires for things to continue. She sent me a text she was going to meet a coworker for a little social time. We agreed to talk when she got home. I didn't hear from her that night. I sent one text checking in, no response. The following morning she calls and tells me she was at her friend's place and hadn't been feeling well and ended up sleeping on their couch. I wasn't happy about the lack of contact, but this was literally a first offense. Later that day, we had a date planned. We went to dinner, spent some time at her home, talking, etc. She claimed to be very tired, so it was an early night. Again, she had always been honest with me, so I was okay with having a short evening. I called her the following morning to see how she was feeling. We spoke for a few minutes before a family member was calling her. She said she would call me back. She didn't call back and hardly responded to my texts for the next 3 days. Finally, I called her early in the morning and asked for her to explain what was going on. We spoke the following evening when she informed me she's really struggling and doesn't feel like she has anything to give to our relationship until some big things in her life are taken care of. I was bummed, but understood that she had these needs. Oh my gosh, as I'm reading this, I just realized how long this is. Wow, like nothing happened yet. You know when you're like watching a movie but there's like no climax yet? Okay, moving on. I expressed that I'd like to continue seeing her when possible. I asked her what her feelings were towards me. She responded by saying something along the lines of she cared about me as a person. It was a vast change from just recently. We spoke a few days later. There had been some texts, and I made it known that I had missed speaking with her. Ooh, I really feel bad for the dude. She did not reciprocate. I told her that her lack of reciprocation was a bit surprising to me. She told me that my reaction made her feel anxious. I backed off, but also felt I was pretty gently expressing my feelings. Over the next couple weeks, she would ignore or barely respond to my texts, of which there were just a few. Often she would reply hours later or the next day. It was all pedestrian small talk. Anything beyond that would be ignored. I wished her a happy Mother's Day and received no response. I grew tired of it and stopped trying to communicate. 2 weeks later, she sent a pithy, "Hope you are well" text. I replied the following day with an equally pithy response. Nothing has happened yet! This is just them not communicating. I feel like the girl is just trying to back off a bit. I don't know. Like she's trying to distance herself. Okay, let's see what else happens. Up until this point, I was really hurting and was quite heartbroken. She seemed to have the ability to go from high passion romance to lack of interest in a quick manner. Her communication told me she really didn't care about me, and I was extremely confused. Recently, she posted a photo of herself and her new man. A quick glance and it became clear to me that they were co-workers. Oh, so she fell for someone else? Were they together? Like, were they in a relationship together? I don't even know. I read so much that I forgot like the intro already. A little more looking and it becomes clear this was likely the person she was with the night she didn't contact me and slept on their couch. All the confusion I had melted. She hadn't switched off her emotions and feelings for me. She transferred them to this new guy. I can't say for sure she cheated on me, but it seems at least a strong possibility. If nothing else, she had engaged in an emotional relationship. In the end, she wasn't all that honest, and she was more than willing to throw away both our relationship and long friendship. Wow. This was long though. This was so long. Wow, he remembered like everything. Whoa. So she just started talking to someone else and I guess she just got attached. And, you know, she cut off her attachment for this guy. That is sad. Like, you think everything is going well and then suddenly this happens. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!